On the evening of July 1st, 2025, the vibrant coastal city of Pattaya was abruptly transformed into a waterlogged maze as a relentless monsoon downpour triggered severe flash flooding across the region. What began as a routine evening quickly escalated into a citywide emergency, with roads submerged, vehicles swept away, and residents and tourists alike stranded in rising waters. At approximately 4 p.m. local time, dark clouds gathered ominously over the Gulf of Thailand. By 4:30 p.m., the skies opened with a fury that few had anticipated. According to the Thai Meteorological Department, TMD, over 120 millimeters of rain fell within a 2-hour window, an extreme deluge that overwhelmed the city's already strained drainage systems. The TMD had issued a warning earlier that day, forecasting thunderstorms and heavy rainfall across 60 to 70% of the eastern region, including Chonburi province. However, the intensity and duration of the storm caught many off guard. Wind gusts reached up to 50 kilometers per hour, and sea waves along the coast surged to nearly 2 meters, compounding the chaos for coastal businesses and beachgoers. The hardest hit areas included Bang Lamung District, South Pattaya, and the central business zones. Key arteries such as Sukhumvit Road, Pattaya Third Road, Chaloem Phrakiat, and the Mum Aroi junction were rendered impassable. Water levels ranged from 30 to 90 centimeters in various parts of the city, with some low-lying zones experiencing depths exceeding 1 meter. Traffic came to a standstill as vehicles stalled in the floodwaters. Motorbikes were particularly vulnerable. Over 20 were swept away by fast-moving currents, while another dozen were toppled by water rushing downhill from higher ground. In one harrowing incident, a young couple had to escape through their car window after their vehicle was dragged into a roadside canal. Miraculously, no injuries were reported. Pattaya's emergency services were quickly mobilized. Traffic police and municipal workers were deployed to redirect vehicles, close off flooded intersections, and assist stranded motorists. Water pumps were activated in key flood-prone zones, including the central Pattaya underpass and the Khao Talo Wat Tam Samaki corridor. Despite these efforts, the sheer volume of water overwhelmed infrastructure. This spot floods often, whether it rains heavily or lightly, said a local resident near the Mum Aroi intersection. But tonight was different. The water came fast and didn't stop. City officials urged residents to remain indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. Tourists were advised to stay in their accommodations and monitor local advisories. The TMD extended its severe weather warning through July 2nd, cautioning of continued thunderstorms and the risk of flash floods, forest runoff, and landslides in 47 provinces across Thailand. Pattaya, often dubbed Thailand's Sin City, is a major tourist hub known for its nightlife, beaches, and entertainment venues. The flood struck during the early evening, a peak time for tourist activity. Bars, restaurants, and beachfront vendors were forced to close abruptly as water surged into their premises. Several hotels reported basement flooding and power outages. Tourists stranded in tuk-tuks and taxis were seen wading through knee-deep water to reach shelter. Beachfront businesses along Pattaya Beach Road suffered significant losses as seawater mixed with flood runoff, damaging inventory and infrastructure. Local vendors expressed frustration at the recurring nature of such floods. "Every year it's the same," said Samchai, a street food vendor near Soi Buako. "We lose a night's income, sometimes more. The government needs to fix the drainage, not just send pumps after the fact." Experts point to a combination of urban overdevelopment, inadequate drainage, and climate change as contributing factors. Pattaya's rapid expansion over the past 2 decades has led to increased surface runoff and reduced natural absorption zones. Concrete replaces green space, and stormwater has nowhere to go but the streets. Environmental groups have long warned that Pattaya's infrastructure is ill-equipped to handle extreme weather events. This is not just a freak storm, said Dr. Nairan Phongchai, a hydrologist at Chulalongkorn University. It's a symptom of a larger pattern. Climate models show that Southeast Asia will face more intense and frequent rainfall events. Cities like Pattaya must adapt or face worsening consequences. Amid the chaos, stories of resilience and community spirit emerged. Volunteers from local NGOs helped elderly residents evacuate flooded homes. Hotel staff waded through waist-high water to deliver food and water to stranded guests. A group of tourists from Germany was seen forming a human chain to help a family cross a flooded intersection safely. One particularly moving account came from 21-year-old Sukhumvit Road, who, along with his girlfriend, narrowly escaped being swept away. The water came so fast, he recalled. We had to climb out the window and walk through water up to our chests. I've never been so scared, but we're lucky to be alive. As of the morning of July 2nd, floodwaters had begun to recede in some areas, though cleanup efforts were just beginning. Municipal crews worked through the night to clear debris, restore traffic flow, and assess damage to public infrastructure. The city's sanitation department warned of potential health risks from contaminated water and urged residents to boil drinking water and avoid contact with floodwater where possible. The TMD forecasted a slight easing in wind speeds and wave height from July 3rd to 7th, but warned that thunderstorms could still cause localized flooding. Temperatures were expected to range from 23 to 28 degrees Celsius overnight and peak at 29 to 35 degrees Celsius during the day. City officials announced plans to review flood mitigation strategies, including expanding drainage capacity, installing additional pumps, and improving early warning systems. However, critics argue that such promises have been made before, with little long-term progress. The July 1st, 2025 flood in Pattaya was a stark reminder of the city's vulnerability to extreme weather. While no lives were lost, the economic, infrastructural, and emotional toll was significant. As climate change continues to reshape weather patterns, cities like Pattaya must confront the urgent need for sustainable urban planning and resilient infrastructure. For now, the city dries out, cleans up, and braces for the next storm. Because in Pattaya, when it rains, it truly pours.